Hi, LindaBauwin here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. So glad you enjoyed our creative inking blog hop today as we're showcasing Christmas gifts. And I wanted to share this freestanding shadow box that I did recently at a stamp retreat. I used the Farmhouse Christmas bundle and cut out the truck and the little fence. You can see the little red bows. Those are done with glimmer paper. And the tree was stamped on the Wood Textures Designer Series paper and cut out. But check out this glistening snow and the little snowman. I did that with a shimmer white embossing paste. But today's video, I'm just going to show you the creative folds you do to create this paper. Now, we used Whisper White cardstock, 12 by 12, cut it down to 11 by 11, and then we sponge braided it with crumb cake. So that's what gives it the farmhouse look. But today I have now moved to Florida for the winter, and of course I didn't bring any 12 by 12 paper with me. So what I am going to show you to how to cut this, I just used the white cardboard from the Designer Series paper. Now I've cut this down to 11 by 11. And what we are going to do is we are going to score all four sides around every 3/4 of an inch. Now my first 3/4 of an inch, I am going to start on this side of my trimmer, only because I think that it makes me get a straight edge because I have this whole bar to lean up. So we scored at 3/4. Next we are going to do the 1 1/2. Then we're going to go 3/4 of an inch more to the 2 1/4. Again, making sure that it's lined up because that is very important to get the nice edges to your shadow box. We did 2 1/4, and now we're going to do 3. So again, every 3/4 of an inch we will score. So we're going to just flip it 90 degrees. Again, on this side, score at the 3/4, and then we will continue on to the 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. The next size, again, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. So finally on that fourth side, we will do it again, 3/4 of an inch. Again, you could do the 3/4 of an inch on this side, but I find that my paper has a tendency to shift when I have too much on this side of my personal trimmer. Just a personal thing. So 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and finally at the 3. Now on the two opposite sides, doesn't matter which one, we are going to move into 3 3/4. And we are only going to score down 2 score lines. So 1, 2 score lines, and then we are going to move it out to the 7 1/4 and do the same thing. Score down 2 score lines. Now we want to do those same scores on the opposite ends. So 3 3/4, score down 2 marks, and then move it out to 7 1/4, down 2 marks. Then what you need to do is to bring in your paper snips, and we are simply going to cut now down those 2, and sometimes it helps that if you burnish those edges back and forth so you can see your score lines good. Again, I used the cardboard from my Designer Series paper just so that I could show you how to make this shadow box. So we're going to just burnish those edges. You can do them Move them back and forth real good with your bone folder so you get nice crisp folds. Got that. Burnish those edges. And then again on this side. Notice my brand new bone folder. I got this at Center Stage, which is a celebration for senior Silver Elite demonstrators. Stampin' Up! Took us to Orlando, and one of our gifts was this special bone folder to mark that occasion. So now I've got those score lines nice and crisp so I can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down where I scored the two score lines. Then I'm going to cut at a diagonal and then down again. And then what I want to do is I want to cut this section completely out. So right along those score lines, we're going to cut that right out. Going to do it on all four sides, so cut down where you could have actually used your trimmer instead of scoring, cut those lines. I chose to score them. Diagonal cut, straight down, and then right up that score line. So this is what we're going to have on two sides of our box. Come over here, do the same thing, cut down the two score lines, diagonal cut, and went down one more block. And one more side. Two score lines, diagonal. Now when I sponged mine, I sponged it after I did the score lines. Then that way I had definite darker colors at the score line. It just helped with that farmhouse look, which is so popular right now with decor. So we've got that. Now what we need to do, I'm going to give you a little hint with your adhesive. We've got this out here. I want you to fold up those two sides, and I'm going to grab my adhesive. Don't know what I did with my adhesive. Let's see if I can find it. Got a really small desk. You would think I could find my adhesive, but I don't see it. So, oh, here it is. So I'm going to take my snail. Now I would use something sturdier. The Tombow glue works well because you can move it back and forth. But what you want is the adhesive right along that score line. I would not recommend snail because you do want something more permanent. You could use tear and tape. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this up like this, and then that gives me that nice border that I need. So again, adhesive right up there for my frame. So I've got that tape, fold it up like so, back, and I've got that frame fit there. Now when you go to do this one, you want it, the adhesive, you're going to have to be a little more careful, but it just folds in like so. So adhesive still needs to go right up against that score line. And I actually then put some glue dots in the miter corners. Some people did their Tombow glue and put in there, but whatever, that will give you your nice mortared corners. So there you have it, a fun, easy shadow box to create a home decor for a gift for Christmas. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.